Welcome to the Take Care Sis podcast with me, Ki and Kiki.
Join two friends for a conversation around self-care in real life. We'll talk about anything on the spectrum from bubble baths to setting boundaries to managing friendships and more.
As your sisters, we also just want to provide a weekly check-in. You know, like big sis asking little sis, sis, you good? So come on in, sis. Let's talk about how we can take better care of ourselves.
Hello, Ki.
What's up, girl?
How are you today?
A little tired, but good.
Good. I'm glad you're doing good. Yes, I'm coming in with my British accent. I don't know why.
I see. I'm not going to try because I don't really have a British accent. I'm going to let you just have this one. Mm-hmm.
That's all I got because I know in a minute I'm going to start switching back. So it lasts for a good 5 minutes and then I forget that I'm in character, I guess.
My number one hater. He loves me, but he has no problem telling me his version of the truth. And I say his version of the truth because it's not true. Like,
it's probably It's probably the truth.
You know what? You and him. So he's my number two.
You know why I say that though? Because kids will tell you the truth and they don't care. Like
he does not care, but he tells me
they don't have the filter on yet. So they say what they see and they say what they feel. And most of the time they be kind of right and you be hating it because I be doing the same thing. But
it's true. And he has told me that I don't have a good British accent. So there's that.
There's that. How was your week?
My week flew by. Like we recorded and then it was today. We recorded last week and then it was today. The week, I don't know where the week went.
It just flew by, like you said.
Flew by.
Yeah, I don't know if my week flew by, but it's been an okay week. I taught the first 2 classes of the beginner yoga series last week.
How did that go?
I think it went well. I haven't been in person teaching at all since I did the gig that you referred me to. I haven't done anything in person since then. So
I had a similar experience this week. I taught at Dix Park.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I taught at Dix Park in Raleigh last Monday. And listen, I was nervous the entire time.
Yeah, and when I'm nervous, I talk. Like, I just start yapping. And I'm hoping that my yapping helped them. I'm hoping that my yapping about yoga poses and breathing and breath work and all that stuff helped them. I hope that they walked away with something last week.
I'm not like, I hate to use the term, but there's really no other way to say it. I'm not a real stuffy yoga teacher, right?
Right.
You know, my natural personality is I make jokes. Well, I've been making jokes and, you know, you just never know where they're going to land when you're subbing somebody else's class. So like, nope, nobody got that. Okay, moving on. So,
right.
And yeah. So some people be like, just with the, oh, that was funny face. Like people give you that. And then some people, you know, actually they understand or get my sarcasm, you know, they're cracking up. But then, you know, it's also a yoga class. So like, I don't want people like falling out of poses. You know, I just want you to kind of lighten up.
Right. Yeah. So it was kind of formed as like a workshop class. So it wasn't like a yoga flow class. I was literally just teaching them the beginner things that they need to know.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, I'm sure it went. And congratulations.
Well, thank you. We're headed into week 2. So this week we're going to work on standing poses. So this should be very fun. Yes.
Fun indeed.
All right. So let's talk about let's recap last week's episode. So last week we talked about the Minority Mental Health Awareness Month, because that's what this month is. We talked about the importance of mental health care for minorities, and we gave y'all a few resources at the end of the episode. Anything you want to add to that, Ki?
No.
Yeah, that was a very quick recap of last week's episode. If you did not catch it, please go and listen to it. It is a very good one. We talked about cultural stigma, which is what we face a lot in the Black community as Black minorities. I know there are other points of view, and we'd love to hear them, y'all. So,
leave us a message, leave us a review. You can come talk about it. You can say what you want to say.
This is a safe space. We're not going to be out in you or nothing. We'd love to share your views, though, because we all want to know, or we all want to see from different perspectives. How about that?
Yeah, because I realize, our listeners are very, varied in who they are. We got doctor or physicians. We have stay-at-home moms. We have people in other occupations that I did not list. We have all of those people, right? So yeah, come, let us know what you think.
Right. Let us know. So, what about our self-care for last week? I don't remember what we said we were going to do. Is that surprising?
No, it's not surprising at all. I was just, I self-care. So, yep.
You didn't practice self-care? Is that what you said?
I practiced my self-care.
Oh, yeah. What was that little dance for?
Because I liked it. It was my birthday and I liked it. No, it wasn't my birthday. I'm quoting a 2000 song. Yeah, I know what mine was. I don't remember what yours was. I don't. Sorry, friend.
Yours?
I was gonna go out with and have a girls' weekend, and I was gonna pet some dogs.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I had my girls' weekend, and we pet some dogs. I pet some dogs.
Good. I don't remember what I said last week. I honestly don't. But I've had an interesting week. This has nothing to do with my self-care because I can't tell you what I did for self-care. But I told you I was getting my new tablet, which we are recording on right now.
Yeah, what I'm gonna do, actually, you were gonna play with your new tablet.
Yes, so I got my new tablet last week after we recorded.
Do you love it?
I haven't had a lot of time to play with it and get everything straight, but I like the size of it, and I finally got my keyboard. So here's my story with this damn keyboard, because USPS was on some shit last week.
They definitely were.
Amazon said that I was supposed to get my keyboard Sunday. Did not come Sunday. Then they said, "Oh, we're running late. We're gonna get it to you."
Amazon also was, or Amazon, whoever they use, they was on some ish. I promise you, I had quite a few deliveries last week, and yeah, getting the same thing. Oh, your package is delivered. No, well, give us 24 more hours. Wait, what?
Let me tell you what went on, right? So Monday, I call them because first of all, when I was on Amazon, it says it was signed by somebody else. I was like, oh, hell no. Who has my shit? So I call USPS. And the guy was like, is there anybody in your household with that name? I said, no. I'm the only person in my household. I didn't sign for anything. Where is my package? So he takes it, or he escalates it to the branch here to look into the issue. He was like, maybe it was somebody at the facility that signed for it. I said, okay. He said, maybe you're going to get it later on today.
Not maybe.
Yeah. So I said, okay. That day passed. I didn't have it. The next day, the guy from the local branch calls me and is like, we're going to work on your issue. And that's all he said. And that was the conversation. I said, okay. Because that was all he literally called to say, we're going to start working on your issue. I'm like, I need an update because this ain't enough. So another day goes by. I said, oh my God. I called this guy back and I'm like, listen, somebody signed for my package and I don't know who it was. It was not me. I need my keyboard. This thing was almost $300. Like, please get my stuff. Thank you. He was like, oh, because he was like, is it like a document or something? I was like, no. I said, it is a thing that I need for my tablet. Thank you. He was like, oh. When I told him what it is, he was like, oh, yeah, we need to find this. Yeah, you do.
Now it's because I told you what it is. It could have been my grandma's false teeth. Get my shit.
Girl, so we hang up and he's like, I'm going to email the people over there and I knew which branch it was. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go over there, but I didn't have time to go the next day. Luckily, my package was at my place that next day.
Yeah.
I had two of them though. It was one for me and one, my mom ordered something on my account. So she had a package coming too. Why did they go and say on hers, your package is lost, and then come back and say your package is delivered? I said, what the fuck is going on? I'm like, y'all need to get your shit together because this is stressful. Say that.
Was this all Amazon?
It was Amazon, but it was USPS ultimately that was doing all this shit.
Oh, because I was gonna say Amazon. Didn't they have a strike or something? A fire, something?
I don't know.
Amazon last week.
But usually, I guess I have better experience with like not USPS, UPS. Because I can look at their stuff, and if it's like sitting at the facility, if something happened, I would like, just hold it there and I'll come get it. But I couldn't do that with USPS. So that was my journey last week, to just get my damn keyboard for my tablet. So I'm happy now, but it was frustrating.
Hell yeah.
So my self-care last week was getting my damn package to my damn house. Both of them.
I had there is a 1 in my house number. I'm looking for a package that was supposed to be delivered. I think I told y'all this last week. I'm looking for a package that was supposed to be delivered. It was delivered to my neighbors at 5.
Right. So how did they get from there to there?
So the USPS just did what they wanted to do last week. I don't know.
They were on one, okay? On one.
They just did what they wanted to do.
All right, so let's move on to our For the Culture segment.
For the culture. For the culture.
You know, slowed it down. Chopped and screwed it this week.
Told you I'm tired.
All right, so I have a couple of things for the culture segment. The first is, I saw this on social media. It said that Stephen and Ayesha Curry announced plan to install 150 libraries in Oakland to help raise literacy rate for Black and Latina youth. I thought that was cool.
I saw that a couple weeks ago. Yep. Yeah, that's pretty dope. I love the Currys as a couple. It's a few couples, and especially few celebrity Black couples. I just absolutely adore what they're doing for the community. And so that is LeBron and what's his wife's name? Start with an S.
Girl,
I'm horrible.
Me.
I'm horrible with names, but LeBron and his wife and Steph and Ayesha, those are two that they get it. Like, they get it, and I love it.
Yeah. So I just wanted to throw that out there. The second is a story that was on Good Morning America.
Good morning, gorgeous. Sorry.
I hate that song, but that's another.
Yeah. What is wrong with you, friend?
I don't know. I just hate that song. But anyway, so this is an article that says 2 dads work to end maternal mortality crisis after losing their partners to childbirth.
Man, listen.
So Bruce McIntyre and Omari Maynard are both single fathers after losing both of their partners after birth. And hold on, let me find what they did. They're opening. That's right. They're opening a birthing center. So that I guess more minorities of Black women can have access to care other than hospitals, which is a good idea. But their stories are also highlighted in the documentary called Aftershock. And it's on Hulu, and I'm actually going to go and watch that. But I thought that was a good thing to highlight, because we have talked about the maternal mortality rates many times on this podcast, because it's ridiculous how fast and how frequent this happens.
Yeah. And so 2 things. 1, your hair is super cute. I just realized that you got braids. So go ahead for it. 2, related but unrelated. This is probably one of my biggest concerns with the repeal of Roe versus Wade, right? Because 1, many more women are going to be first to carry babies to term, and I put quotation marks, because what a lot of people don't realize is, I know we see babies everywhere, like crying babies did I say that out loud? There's babies everywhere, right? There's babies everywhere. But what people don't realize, the scientist in me, it is damn near a miracle to have a baby. It really is. Because there's things that can go wrong. Even procreation, the union of the sperm and the egg, is a feat in itself, okay? Because there are it's a big number of them little sperm jokers that entered the uterus and got to try to no, let's take it back. There's 200 of them jokers that got to come out of the nutsack, right? And so then they got to get through all the juices that the man got, and that's pretty much the easy part. But some of them jokers die then they got to get in the vagina. Our vagina's pH is designed so that they don't thrive. I'll say thrive. Because yes, sperm can live in the vagina up to 5 days, but I digress. So once they get in the vagina, they got to get there. Then they got to get in the uterus. And then in the uterus, you got things that happen where it don't make it where it's supposed to go. So the fact that sperm unites with the egg in itself is a victory. It's a feat, right? And then the egg has to implant itself, right? And that in itself is an issue, because women have endometriosis. We have irregular periods. We have swollen uteruses, swollen vulvas. We have the things. So like, it is so much going on. So the fact that babies are made is a miracle, right? And then once the zygote forms and starts to do all the division, and it starts making of a fetus or an embryo, there's still so many things that can happen. So many things that could happen. And so now with Roe versus Wade, people are struggling to feed themselves. So you think people got money to add to babies and stuff like that. I mean,
No.
I'm sorry, not babies. You think people got money to give to parasites? Because
No.
what is it? Another thing that people don't think about is a woman, like, as she's pregnant, right? She needs more rest. She needs better nutrition. She needs more. She needs more food because she's now eating for two. So if I'm struggling to feed myself today, I don't need a parasite. I don't need a parasite. It's a lot. It's a lot. So that frustrates me. And then on top of that, what everyone says, and it's true, the repeal of Roe versus Wade isn't going to stop abortions. People find the workarounds. Think about how many people are for a BBL, right? So now you're gonna have women crossing borders to get abortions or whatnot, or whatever they're gonna do, right? They're gonna cross whatever border there is, whether it be an ocean or whether it be a state line. They're gonna be crossing borders. My concern, though, is, for example, you get this abortion. If you say, I'm thinking of a neighboring state, South Carolina is going to repeal the abortion. They're just going to do it, right? And so if you got women coming into North Carolina, I don't know that landscape very much, but say they come to Planned Parenthood, but say they got to come all the way to, say, Charlotte to Planned Parenthood, right? I don't know what that travel is like. But then when you leave, if you need a follow-up or whatever, then you got to come back to your South Carolina doctor who's going to ask you, oh, you had an abortion? Don't nobody want to deal with that. Right. So you're going to have people that are not going to be seen post-abortion. And for Black women, I'm especially scared because we don't get taken serious when we go to the doctors. Exactly. And we're going to now go to emergency rooms talking about abdominal pain. It'll be hours before Black women are seen. Right. And it's going to be like, oh, you got gas, go home. Right. And they're key abdominal bleeding. So I'm not excited about that at all. And I'm not excited about the deaths that are going to happen because, one, Black women's pain isn't taken seriously. And two, all of this is because Congress couldn't make a decision on Roe versus Wade. Right. Or abortion rights, sorry.
No, you're good. All of what she said.
And our Supreme Court sucks and they need to all come down. They need to all have a seat.
Yeah. You just need a redo on the whole government. But last on our list is I just wanted to touch on the Sesame Place fiasco.
What is wrong with Rosita?
Why Rosita don't like the Black kids? What's wrong with her? So if y'all don't know, there's a clip going around of the characters at Sesame Place, not Sesame Street. According to Sesame Street, they're not affiliated like that. They just licensing their the name and the likeness of them. But Rosita, say what?
If I don't know her, was a person,
right? They was like, hold up, we don't do that. That's not us. But the person that was dressed up as Rosita, one of the Sesame Street characters, she was just waving and hugging all of the non-Black people and kids and high-fiving them. And when she would get to the Black kids, you know what she would do? She would say, and keep going. And she'll put her little finger up and say, no, and keep going. What kind of mess is that? And it wasn't just her. It was a bunch of other characters too. I think it was Bert. Whoever was in Bert's suit did the same thing, slapped the little girl. I don't know what's going on at Sesame Place, but they don't go there. They race.
This is the middle of Times Square. This is what is beyond me. Like, you don't think about that type of in New York City like that.
Right. They're kids though. Like, why? What did the kids do to you? And the bad thing is they're just, I don't know, they're innocent. They didn't do anything. So like, why y'all messing with them like that? Imagine how those kids felt. They were just like so excited. And then next thing you know, they're just heartbroken, like, oh my God.
We will fight.
Yeah.
So I'm not a parent.
If it was my kid, if it wasn't my kid, I would fight. Like,
Let me take my little niece up there and Rosita mush my niece,
Right.
but then go hug the next one.
Right. Ooh, girl, if my goddaughter, we fighting.
I
I'd
pull
be
Rosita.
I'd be like, hold my keys. We about to fight. I'm about to knock this little this little animal down, this creature down. But yeah, that's all I had. Did you have anything to add to that, Key?
Nah, I'm good.
Okay. Well, we shall get into our topic, shall we?
Yes.
All right.
We need the backstory first.
Okay. So, like I said, this week I taught a few classes that were more of kind of a beginner yoga workshop classes. And of course, we have beginners in there. And so a lot of times what people who have never been to yoga classes or have never done this type of movement do is they kind of look around to see what everyone else is doing. And they kind of want to mimic what people are doing. And so as much as we want to tell them, like, this is your practice, you're going to do it your way, your body's going to move the way that it moves, it's still hard for them not to compare themselves to other people, right? Because we do that ourselves. Like, I don't look like this, or I don't look like that. I don't look like that pose, or what you did, I can't do that. That's fine. My job here as a teacher is to let you know that you can do it the way that you need to do
You
it
can
for your body. Go ahead.
do it.
Right. But my job is to teach you other options so that if your body does not look like mine or you want to try to aim for that, that you can do it in a different way with certain props or just do a different pose that works, because everything doesn't work for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing was, I had a man in my class too. So a lot of times, when men come to yoga, they just be stiff. That's the truth behind it. Y'all just be stiff. But I just had to tell them, like, don't compare your body to other people. Because I said, look, all of us in here are different body types. And we were. Every single person. So if you want to look at this person, you can see what they're doing, but it's still going to look different on your body.
Mm-hmm.
And someone who has, quote unquote, open hips will probably have tight shoulders. Or someone who has pretty good shoulder mobility will probably have tight hips. It's just, that's how everybody's body works. It's different for everyone, right? So that's what we're going to kind of dive into today is comparison, how it affects us, how it affects our thinking. Yeah. So let's get into it.
Story of comparison. It's a very personal one. I subbed a yoga class this week, and I promise you on Monday, as I was preparing for the class, I had quite the anxiety because I was in comparison mode too. I'm fortunate to know the circle of teachers that have been subbing or working this class. So I'm familiar with their teaching style, but I know that I'm different from them. So like, it just kept running through my mind, like, what if I don't teach like them? What if people don't like me? What if people complain? Like, and so I was having like some straight up imposter syndrome and some straight up, like, I was doing a lot of the comparison, like,
Right.
So
yeah, that was me too, because I'm literally subbing for someone else too. Like, we're just kind of like, hey, we're here, and just hoping that we don't have that comparison thing going, but it happens, especially when you're doing the first few classes. Yeah, it happens.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about that. So the tendency to compare ourselves to other people is called social comparison. And it's a natural way for us to evaluate what we're doing. Like, it's just a way that, like, some of us use it as a check-in, like, am I doing this right? And that's cool, but it's difficult when it comes to something like yoga, because when you start to talk about, like, say, the human bodies, everyone's may do the same thing. We all walk. Well, we don't all, but most of us walk. Most of us able-bodied individuals, we walk. We have 2 legs, we have 2 arms, head, shoulders, knees, and toes. So we all walk forward. We all, may jump up and down. We all have several movements that we do similarly, but I promise you, no 2 people do them the exact same. So social can be really, really tricky. when we compare ourselves to others who are better off than we are, it's called an upward social comparison, and it tends to make us feel dissatisfied. So again, if you're in a yoga class and you're like, oh man, I want to do that. My favorite, my pose that like makes me clutch my pearls is anyone that can go from standing to a drop down wheel. Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's just for you people that might not understand, you're starting off standing and then you bend over backwards until your hands are on the ground as well as your feet.
Mm-hmm.
That right there is my I've made it pose. Y'all, when I can do a standing drop down wheel, don't say nothing to me. Don't talk to me. Don't talk to me.
For the time being, I'm gonna stick to the wall. Let that wall hold me up till I get to the bottom.
When I can do that, y'all, don't speak of me. Don't speak of me. Y'all can be sick of me. So anyway, when we compare ourselves to others who are better off than we are, it's called an upward social comparison. And it tends to make us feel dissatisfied. So, in that type of situation, I'd be like, just like I just said, I ain't shit until I can get that pose. It's not true at all. Like, I can do wheel, right? And where I am in my practice, that's where I am in my practice. That's what I tell my students all the time. But no, for real, when I do it, y'all ain't be able to tell me shit. And if we feel that there's nothing we can do to improve our situation, then that dissatisfaction turns into frustration. I'm not there yet. I'm gonna work, but I've learned that I can work on my wheel, and so y'all not gonna be able to tell me shit.
That's right. That's what we're working towards. All right. So the opposite of the upward social comparison is downward social comparison. So when we compare ourselves to people worse off than we are, that's what it's called. And it may make us feel satisfied or even smug, but it also tends to sap our motivation to work harder.
I see this a lot like on the job, right? So, you'd be like, oh, well, I don't have it as case in point. You see that person with your same job title, but like, for example, they have like a different area or a different region that they're over, right? And you'd be like, you see that pile on their desk? Shit, I ain't gotta go. I don't have it that bad. And then and like whenever you say that, you kind of lean back in your chair and you take an extra break. That's what we talking about. That right.
You're right. I never thought of it that way, actually. I kind of, I don't know, that it doesn't seem like it's the healthiest way.
It's not.
To think of it, because just thinking of it as, oh, someone's always doing worse than I am. I don't know. It goes back to that kind of toxic positivity thing where people are just like always positive. Someone's always doing worse than you. No, that shit sounds weird. And it is weird.
Y'all know my favorite therapist is Keir Gaines, and he actually talked about that a couple of reels ago. He was saying that, that's not always the best place to be, because it can also promote like more negative feelings within you. Right. But yeah, it was interesting what he said. Y'all have to check it out, because of course I can't remember off the top of my head. So there's Speaking of Keir Gaines, we often compare ourselves to people we see on social media, because that's where it's all happening now. It's all on Twitter, or whatever your thing is, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, and for those of us that are into Facebook, it's on Facebook. But we compare ourselves to people we see on social media, and it's easy to forget that social media is a highlight reel of other people's lives. We see their best moments and don't usually witness their struggles. I can attest to that this weekend, because I was out petting dogs in the heat, and what's on my highlight reel, what's in my stories is all the calm, non-sweaty pictures, when I'm looking cute, not in pose. But I'm pretty sure if you saw me in a random moment and walked up on me in the heat that I was in, it did not look like my highlight reel. It was hot this weekend, y'all. Shit. We often compare our lesser qualities with a person's best qualities, skewing our judgment. And that's what's most dangerous about the whole social comparison thing. We tend to look at the worst of our things, like it's bathing suit season. And, I got a little extra weight that didn't come off from the winter. It didn't disappear. Needed it to. But I'd be looking, thinking about that while I'm looking at sis with the six pack.
Right.
But what I didn't see is how many hours she was in the gym and the fact that she don't never eat chocolate, chocolate or ice cream. And I do.
Yeah, and I'm gonna eat some ice cream tonight, speaking of. Yeah.
Wait a
yeah. It's true that we're looking at everyone's highlight reel. I mean, think about it. Instagram has reels. That's what they call them that. It's a highlight reel. We're literally giving people the best of what we're experiencing. Nobody hardly ever gives you the I'm at home in my shorts, t-shirt, glasses, and I look like a bum right now. Nobody hardly gives you that. You don't see the struggles people go through. You don't see the mental struggles people go through. You don't see like their path to their successes. We're just so used to being like on camera all the time. So we have to be our best, or people are used to trying to make it look like their best, even if it's their worst.
Trying to tell you, you would have saw me sweating from deep places.
Right.
And yeah, but my, the pictures, I'm cute though. Because those I posed and ready. But trust me, I was like, because it was hot. So feelings of jealousy, frustration, and hopelessness emerge if comparisons continue.
Yes.
If unaddressed, chronic anxiety, depression, and like I mentioned, imposter syndrome can stem from such behavior. Yeah. So I am grateful for the two people in my yoga circle that, were able to talk me off the ledge or not, I'm sorry, not talk me off the ledge. They were able to help coax me into more positive thinking. So shout out to them. But yes, there are a few ways that we can address the social comparisons. Y'all ready? Okay. One, focus on your own path. And this was important. It's useful to think about what makes you happy and satisfied personally and professionally, right? And so I know that I utilized this technique, not conscious of it at all, but I utilized this technique this week when I was having my own little imposter situation. I literally had to go to my mirror and say my positive affirmations and do some positive speak to myself in the mirror. But it's all about, because I'm focused on my path. I know that I am following a path, right? I think about I know the girl that helped set up the Dick's Yoga, right? The one that I'm subbing for. And I know that our paths are just different. I also know she's been teaching longer than me. She's been in the Raleigh community longer than I have. I know those things, right? And that was her path. And I'm grateful that she has opened up that path for us. But I say all that to say, like, I now have to focus on where I am today in my own path. And I can't compare myself to her journey and where she's been and the training she's had and the classes she's taught and stuff like that. Nah, because Nakia is Nakia. Is she. But this goes on to say, and by the way, I got this from, it was called fastcompany.com. And it was ways to stop comparing yourself to others, according to a cognitive scientist. So it was list key things you would like to do or to achieve. Striving to live a life that is authentic to your personal goals is valuable, and you have to remember of that. Because one problem with focusing on other people's achievements is that it can make you dissatisfied with your daily activities that you're normal in, or that you even enjoy. So by staying focused on your own goals, you can forge your path through your own life. So like I said, like if I had a focus on, but I'm not her and this isn't my class and so on and so forth, like, I had people come up to me afterwards like, oh, are you teaching somewhere? Not at the moment, but I will, right? And that's my path. So like I possibly could be gaining some future yoga students. So
right. That's right. Focus on your own path. So the next way that you can kind of deal with social comparison is enjoy other people's successes. So when you do find yourself watching someone else's achievements enviously, try reframing your own reaction. Instead, consider sending a note of congratulations and enjoying their success. Being happy for, say, a coworker keeps team morale, or making a habit of congratulating others can get you into the habit of separating their successes from others. So this is something that I actually do a lot, especially on social media. So if I find that certain people's posts are like bothering me, I'm like, I have to stop for a second and just think like, why? Is it because they're successful at what they do? And if it is, I'll go ahead and congratulate them for it. I'm not bullshitting y'all. I really do this. But if it continues to, if their post, like this certain person's post, continue to bring negative feelings for me, then I'll have to reevaluate and be like, no, I got to stop following this person because something ain't right in my head with connecting to them. But for the most part, if it's someone that I watch from afar and I'm just like, oh, this is great. You might have that moment of, why am I not at this same stage in life as them? Or why am I not doing the same things as them? But all in all, you can just be happy for them, congratulate them. Like you said, like it says, send a note of congratulations. And most of the time you can spark up a conversation that way and ask them like how they got there. Most people will tell you. And most people will give you pointers. Most people will cheer you on. Like, you just never know unless you actually do send that note.
Right. And two things to say about that. On another article that I found in reference to social comparison, they said, be aware of your triggers and avoid them, right? So if, Sister Charlene's posts bother you because you seem like every time you turn around, we got to congratulate Sister Charlene on something. She got a new car. She got a new dog. She got a new job. If we're always congratulating Sister Charlene and that's starting to bother you, then avoid Sister Charlene.
Right.
Like if Sister Charlene's on Facebook, you might need to restrict posts with Sister Charlene. It's literally a setting in your Facebook post. And then Instagram does it for you if you don't like her post. Now that's still a little bit of hateration, but you can always choose. You see Sister Charlene post come up, quickly scroll. Just quickly scroll. You can make this adjustment on Twitter too. So listen, avoid triggers, y'all. Like we were not meant to sit up here and do the damage to ourselves. I feel like a sermon coming. Like the Lord did not put us on this here earth for us to damage ourselves. I mean, we're doing a great job. We're doing a great. That is not the intent for us to sit up here. He didn't give us social media so we can break our own hearts. That's not why he gave it to us. That's why we don't deserve social media. And one other thing you can do is just limit your time on social media, because again, you're seeing everybody's highlight reels. That time that if you spend an hour on social media, try cutting it down to more like, I don't know, half hour, and then spend that other half an hour going for a walk, friend, or working on your business, working on your goals, do anything else. Okay, so that was the first thing I was going to say. The second thing I was going to say, Kiki kind of said it, right? When you strike up that conversation with that person, a lot of times they're willing to help you, right? And I know, asking for help is so hard. but you need to. Because the other thing is, like, for example, your coworker that just got promoted, right? I don't know very many people, and this just means I don't know them. I'm not saying they don't exist, but I don't know very many people who don't work as teams anymore, because that's the thing that people do at the jobs. Everybody works as a team. Mm-hmm. So I know my job is fantastic because I have probably the best job in North Carolina, but my job is really fantastic on congratulating the team. Like, if one person, like, we go around and we give accolades at our staff meeting, right? And never fails. We've bonded. And so, like, if one person, if Sister Kathy gets an accolade or gets a promotion, Sister Kathy comes back and says, I could not do this without the help of, right? And she lists all the people. And so what that does, y'all, like, true story, what that does is that shows your employers, oh, so such and such helped them with their projects. And it's not a negative reflection on Sister Kathy. It's a positive thing for you. So you never know. You could potentially be next. Or, like I said, when you are congratulating these people, they're often going to turn around and, if they're decent fucking people, they turn around and help you. So don't be a hater. All right. And then the next thing you can do is concentrate on gratitude. So you have the opportunity to change the nature of your feelings and focus on other people in your world. And you can do that by making a gratitude list. Focusing on gratitude helps because much of what you're grateful for involves the people around you, individuals who have looked out for you, mentored you, and promoted your work. And I just kind of talked about that. Right. And successes. Kiki, did you have anything else you want to add?
For that gratitude part, just another note on that, because I think I mentioned it earlier, but it comes back to the part where we're talking about not being grateful just because you're not in someone else's situation. Like, you're not being grateful because someone else is in a down situation, I guess. How did we say that? I can't remember. Like, my brain isn't working. You said what?
It's the braids.
No, saying it was a toxic positivity thing where, people are like, someone's always doing better than you're always doing better than someone else. That's the same thing for gratitude. Don't just be grateful for something because you're doing better than someone else.
Right.
Be grateful because you're actually grateful and they actually helped you, or you actually helped them.
And be right. So Facebook has helped me be so utterly lazy, y'all, when it comes to socialization. So, like, for example, it reminds me when people's birthday is, I no longer have to keep them in a calendar. The bad news about that is no one's getting a card. No one's getting a birthday card anymore because I don't have it in my calendar, because I don't need to, because Facebook is going to remind me. But the only thing Facebook does is tell you the day of. Nobody has a card anymore. So, like I said, I've become hella lazy. And then what Facebook will do is, Facebook got the nerve to prompt responses. So if somebody puts in their post, I just got a promotion, you get ready to type in, you don't even have to type congratulations anymore, because Facebook already got a pre-congratulations with a balloon next to it. What? So be genuinely happy for people, y'all. You write your own congratulations. Misspell a word if you, but write it yourself so you actually feel it, and you're not just doing Facebook generating generic congratulations and stuff. Congrats. What?
Girl, yeah. People be so deep into it. They just put in HBD. I can't stand that mess. HBD. I'm like, spell it out at least. At least let me think you took 10 seconds to think about actually saying happy birthday.
I'm saved by missing out. Happy and Earth Day.
Happy Earth Day, sis. Okay.
So yeah, the other article I looked at, Better Up, they have a couple more ways that you can overcome comparison. one of the ones I liked was avoiding comparing people's outsides to your own insides. And that was mentioned a little bit earlier about like the highlight reel thing. But truthfully, like no one knows what's happening behind someone else's struggle, right? So they may just be photo freaking genic. And so you see them smiling for the picture out at your favorite restaurant or the restaurant that you're dying to go to, and you see them smiling for the picture, acting like they're having fun. I saw it myself this weekend. We went to this fancy ass place for brunch, right? It was gorgeous, I'm gonna be honest. But we got there early because the reservations was taken up. So we got there early. And like I literally saw people, whether they were solo or not, they just snapping pictures of themselves. There was no fun having because it was 10 o'clock in the morning. There was no fun. There were no mimosas in your system yet. Yet. And so you take the picture, right? And again, we get so caught up in people's highlight reels and we're comparing them to their outsides when, the people could be dying on the inside or up inside. True story. I have to tell it because we were so mad. So we sat next to this couple, and this couple, like, they were like, I don't want to use the term bling out and imply that I was seeing a lot of sparkles, but they were real flashy. Like this chick, she had on a Christian Dior bucket hat, and she had on this matching Christian Dior bag. And my line sister that I was with, she is bougie, or she got more money than I do. I'll say that. She got more money than I do. So she, shops at different stores from me. And so she was like, yeah, she had on an Hermes bracelet. I don't know what that looked like, but I'm gonna just take her word for it. But anyway, so apparently she had on a whole lot of labels, okay? She had on a whole lot of labels. And they ordered up their food and whatnot. I don't know what made my line sister look, but my line sister looked. Them jokers had ran up $130 bill. They left a $10 tip. So you don't know what struggles people are having, right? Because then people are clearly ugly on the outside. I mean, ugly on the inside. You leaving service workers $10 tips on $130 bills, you're ugly. And so was her Christian Dior hat. A little like ground couch. I hope you hear my podcast because I need you to know. And that leads into next. Remind yourself that money does not buy happiness, because you can't be happy if you leaving $10 tips on a $130 bill and there was nothing wrong with your service, because we had the same server who was fantastic. Sorry. Also, count your blessings.
Yeah.
Be grateful for what you have. Someone's life may seem better, but there's always another person wishing for what you had. So this isn't like we said earlier where you're like, oh, someone else has it worse off. No. You're focusing on your gratitude and counting your blessings. It ain't got nothing to do with nobody else. Where anyone else is, nothing. It's just you thanking whatever your higher power, whatever your universe, whatever manifestations has happened, you being grateful for that.
Right.
So anyway, like we said, like comparing yourself to others, whether you're in a yoga class, whether you're at work, whether you are driving down the street and you looking at somebody else's car, whatever, like you got to stop the comparison, because that's going to lead to, it just leads to further problems. Like there's another thing, like how you speak to yourself or how you speak about yourself, like that eventually adds up, right? And you just want to make sure that you are talking about your the number one person in your life. You want to make sure that you're talking about them as positively as possible. So make sure that you are not caught up in comparing yourself. Stop comparing yourself to someone's highlight reel. That's all I got.
And that's all it is. Stop comparing yourself. Do what you got to do. Do what you do. That's all that matters, right? Living your life the way you want to. That's what matters, y'all. Stop comparing yourself. I hope you hear me. Come here, sis. I said, stop comparing yourself. That's what I said. Okay. Just want to make sure y'all heard that. Mm-hmm.
I hope y'all heard that, so you don't have to do it again.
That's right. All right, so that is all we have for y'all today. I hope y'all enjoyed this. We did. We always enjoy bringing y'all such great episodes. Y'all know where to find us. We're on Instagram and Facebook as Take Care Sis Pod. And y'all can leave us some comments. Y'all can send us an email. All this stuff is in the description, the show notes, all of that stuff. I keep it there every week so that y'all can contact us. So, and ratings and reviews, y'all still being stingy. I said last week, y'all can send one that said, "Hey," ain't nobody said, "Hey." Nobody said, "Hey," yet. So I'm waiting on the "Heys" and the 5-star ratings. I know they're coming. We're going to manifest it. It's going to come.
Manifest. Hey. I'm going to blame it on people being outside and heat.
Yeah, I think everybody's out.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay. I'm gonna give y'all to the end of the summer because I know y'all outside playing. So have fun. Have fun, sisses. Come back, sisses. Thanks. All right. So where can they find you, sis, and what you got offered, or what are you offering this week, if you have anything?
Excuse me. It's a quiet week this week for me, so I will just be doing behind the scenes type of things. So that's also what I'm doing for self-care, working on the rebranding of Yoga with Ki. That, as well as I lied. I'm teaching tomorrow, at Dix Park again. So I'm teaching tomorrow at Dix Park. But by the time this episode airs, I will have taught Monday at Dix Park. Mm-hmm. And then the rest of the week, I'll be focused on rebranding Yoga with Ki. With that said, though, you can still continue to find me. Fights the urge to say it. You can find me in the club. Bottle full of bub. Sorry. Every week. I am like a bad dad joke with that one.
Walking dad joke.
Yep. But anyway, you can find me at yogawithki.space on the internet.
Okay. Y'all can find me this week. I am still teaching beginner yoga series at Kinetic PT and Wellness here in Greenville, Tuesday and Thursday at 6 p.m. What is their website? I'll put that down in the notes too, because I can't remember what it is right now. And you can find me anywhere else at This Curvy Yogi for now. This Curvy Yogi, curvy with an I, not a Y, and thiscurvyyogi.com for now. And that's it. You got any self-care plans?
I just told you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, my self-care is going to be playing with this laptop and getting some stuff done.
Work.
All right, y'all. That's it. Rate and review. Y'all know what to do.
Rate and review. You know what to do. Kiki, I love you. And I'll see you next week.
Take care. Okay. Take care, sis.